Today, we are going to talk about your fate and how your destiny will guide you in the development of that energy. So we're going to talk about the serendipity in your life, the magic in your life, destiny in your life. And we're going to do it through the looking glass of the Vertex. So welcome to my Vertex Part 2 video. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the Vertex through the signs. So we'll start with Aries and then we'll go around to Pisces. And what does it mean to have your Vertex in each of the signs? Now, don't just look for your own Vertex. I want you to look for the Vertex in the most important people in your life's chart. So look at your moms, look at your dads, look at your daughters, look at your sons, look at your cousins, look at your best friend, your lover, your boyfriend, your ex-husband, and see where their Vertex is and see if you can see how it danced in their life and also see if it made contact with yours. Are you ready to dive in with deep cosmic awareness? I'm going to give you the meaning and the definitions of your Vertex through the signs. If you don't know me, welcome. My name is Meredith with Soul Navigation. I am an evolutionary astrologer. I've had my own practice for over 23 years, and I absolutely love teaching you deeper astrology. If you haven't already seen my Vertex Part 1 video, please go and watch that because I tell you what the Vertex is, and then I go through the different houses that the Vertex can be in. And the Vertex can only be in a few of the houses in the astrology chart. So what you want to do is you want to blend the meaning of the Vertex in your particular house with the meaning of the sign. You're going to blend those two things, and that is going to define what your Vertex means in your chart. I also have to say, join the channel, become a super supporter or a superstar super supporter, because in my next members only video is I'm going to give you the practical application on how to actually figure out when your Vertex will be ignited or triggered, when the Vertex energy will burst forward in your life. And it's pretty cool. And it's really cool to also use my technique to go in hindsight. So I'm going to do that for my members only. And if you are a superstar, super supporter, or a superstar, I love you. Thank you for being here. And I hope you're enjoying all my behind the scenes, deeper teachings in those videos. So come and join us if you haven't already. We know that the Vertex is always going to be in the houses centered around the descendant. The Vertex is oftentimes about the people in your life, the soulmates in your life, the destined characters, if you will, or the types of people or the types of places that you will meet up with your karmic destiny. I say members of your soul pod. Some people can call it a tribe. I call it a pod. Like you incarnated with certain souls in this lifetime. You contracted with them to help create the life you incarnated to live. I want you to think also about the Vertex being the place by house and by sign where you easily or unconsciously or subconsciously with great ease, this is where we give ourselves over to something beyond ourselves, beyond our own ability to think and know. So this is where we just naturally and how we naturally enter the mystical, the magical, the cosmic realms of our life. I kind of think of the Vertex as the doorway into magical kingdom or the magical parts of our soul, of our existence, of our life, the entrance to the unknown. I want you to think of it as the magic point in your chart. And it's also very electric. This is not something you need to manifest. This is something that just will be. In my next video for members only, I'm going to teach you the practical applications on how to understand the transits. And we're going to go in depth into those aspects and those transits. In next week's video, I'm going to show you how you can work with the moon and your Vertex to map out the most important and magical days of each month. So if you are a subscriber, you'll get to have that video on this channel next week. Now, I want to talk about this vertex in contrast to the ascendant. So the ascendant is what you look like, and it is also how you manifest or how you put yourself out there into the world. It is your actual physical being. It's how you show up. The vertex is showing you sort of your fate point. Fate, F-A-T-E, the karmic point, the subjects, if you will, the people that you will gravitate towards. This shows us your destiny point, the themes of your destiny. These are predetermined courses of events or people. There is sort of a magnetic power inside, and you really need to understand the house and the sign, and also if it is conjunct any planets. We're not going to go into the aspects to other planets in this video, but I am going to do a video on that. There's a lot to understand with the vertex, and I really want you to have more than just a cursory experience with the vertex. I want you to understand the depth of it, and I want to know if you can feel your vertex at work in your chart. Now, when I say it's a karmic point, I kind of mean an accumulative karma that you have gleaned or earned or created over lifetimes. I'm not talking about paybacks in this lifetime, right? Like karma's a bitch. No, I'm not talking about karma that way. Because karma can be also seen as the answer that you get in result from all the decisions that you have made in this lifetime, right? So I'm speaking a little bit more of your destined contract. And I think the vertex really can show you where the magic happens or where the magic comes from in your life without even trying. Your fate, where you're at the right place at the right time, serendipity. I've also heard it called the wish point. If you have your vertex at 2 degrees Capricorn, that does not necessarily mean that you're going to meet a Capricorn. So it might not represent the exact person that you're going to meet, but it could represent that you meet a friend that introduces you to the Capricorn, or it might mean that this job leads you to a strange or magical encounter. It's where the universe has lined up and delivered someone or something pretty spectacular to you. It's kind of like if you wake up and you don't even know this yet, but your vertex was activated, let's say, and you got a premonition to not go on the trip. And because you stayed back, because you stayed behind, let's say the other people sadly suffered on the trip and you didn't. Well, that could also be your vertex at work. The vertex is sort of this magical portal where it can lead you to your rightful destiny, also by giving you an intuition or prohibiting you from doing something that you might have normally have done. I also want to tell you to listen to your anti-vertex sign as well. The anti-vertex is the point directly across. It's the exact opposite of your sign. So if your vertex is in Aries, then you know your anti-vertex is in Libra, right? When your vertex is activated, you're not going to activate your vertex. It's not like the new moon or the full moon where you're going to do your wish or you're going to set out your intentions. It's not your dynamite day. How it gets activated is by transit. So that's taking the natal chart and looking at the transits. It's by synastry, your chart with another person's chart, and maybe one of their planets activates your vertex, and by progression. And I should also say by solar return. So that's really important to know. Right now, we're just trying to understand what is your vertex personally all about and your loved ones. If you have your vertex in Aries, I'm going to tell you that you probably will feel that you have kind of a lust or a desire for excitement and adventure and originality and to be a leader. This energy in your vertex, when it's activated, is going to help you really stand in your own unique power to be individually yourself. It's going to have you probably step into a leadership role. It's probably going to have you blaze new trails. It's going to trigger a desire in you to create something new for yourself. And it's going to bring about yourself a strength, a power, maybe even a talent or an athleticism that you might not have even been aware of. It's going to tap into your courage. You also are going to, when your vertex is triggered, you're going to feel like you can really accomplish something new. You can really take the initiative and that you want to create new things. There's new possibilities. You're going to feel a little bit more like, I want me time. You're going to want to carve out your own energy stamp, put your own stamp onto the world. And it's also a time when very powerful people can change your life forever. Somebody may give you a new leadership role. There might be a power person in your life that saves your life, advances your life, helps you trek through your life and blaze new trails. The destiny theme here is literally diving into the deep end of the swimming pool. That's metaphoric, taking the lead, taking the charge, and kind of surpassing your rivals, if you will, winning the game of life. And so when your vertex is triggered, you will find people in your life that will help you set up a winning life, a winning self. And you will see that this also occurs when the anti-vertex is triggered as well by a planet, because the planet would be opposing the vertex. And so you might see that this person or these people or this soul connection brings you the desire to explore new, powerful opportunities that puts you large and in charge, help you end up first in line, first in your field, or help advance you in some way. And you will also be very attracted to people who are leaders and winners at life. And so is your soulmate, is the person that is really influential in your life, do they interact with your vertex? And don't forget, and I said this in my first video, if you haven't seen the first video, please go watch that. Your vertex has to be within a 1-2 degree at the most orb. So if your vertex is at 8 degrees Aries, it's only considered in aspect to it if the other person's planet is at 7, 8, or 9. That's it. So it's a very tight orb, and that's because it moves so fast. Okay, let's talk about the destiny theme if your vertex is in Taurus. When you have your vertex in Taurus, your destiny is revolved around developing a deep relationship to material security. Another word for that could be money. Developing a deep relationship to beauty, comfort, how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, to cultivate deep personal value. So if you have your vertex in Taurus, really stepping into a destiny that feels quite beautiful. Now, that might not mean that, you're a supermodel. It might not mean that. There is a deep value in you around liking beautiful, comfortable things, liking quality things. And there is going to be probably an ability to be a generator of beauty, of money, of finances, and building really deep security for yourself and also self-worth. This is a lifetime where you are here to honor your own value in this world. And so we don't just wake up, on a Monday and say, oh, I'm valuable. No, it usually takes a lifetime of good deeds, a lifetime of meaningful activity to feel like you really matter. Living your truth, putting your skills out there in the world and monetizing them, or creating security and safety with them, igniting all of the senses to do that: hear, taste, touch, smell, feel. Mastering the world in a way that gives you a deep sense of self-worth, of gratitude towards yourself, liking yourself, even falling in love with yourself. So you will meet people in this lifetime that will show you your worth to you, your value to you. The world is probably going to force you into developing an ability to create self-sufficiency, to learn how to rely on self, and maybe even to develop a life where you become financially independent and where you really learn deep down inside that you matter, that you're worth it. So you might meet people who are financial investors or are working on the subject matter of their self-esteem and self-worth themselves. You might find that you're very attracted to people who are self-sufficient, who don't have their way paved for them through life, who weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You might really have a soulmate that rolls up their sleeves and works very hard at building their own enterprise. And just remember the anti-vertex in this too, Scorpio. You could meet people who try to take your self-esteem away or hurt you or make you feel insecure. And if you have somebody in your life that does that to you and they trigger your vertex, so let's say their Mars is on your vertex, they're here to rattle you so you can develop those things. Like, you're not going to take my self-esteem from me. Remember that it's being activated to help you grow this part of you. So sometimes we grow through people challenging us. Okay, the vertex in Gemini, your destiny, your theme songs are going to have to do with communication, networking, being able to use your voice in a way that is beneficial to yourself, to others, to the world. You are going to attract situations, people, places, and things that are like-minded with you, that share the same type of mental processes. So if you're a deeply intuitive person, you probably will network and communicate and find out there in the world that you really value deeply intuitive people. They become your tribe, right? They become your group. And so developing your ability to think, and this is all kinds of thinking. This is rational thought, being an emotional communicator, being a great storyteller, learning how to speak factually, learning how to do research, use your own mental telepathy or intuition or ESP or psychic ability. Your intimate soulmate relationships values communication. Somebody who is a great multitasker, somebody who likes having a busy mind, a busy life. Gemini is in perpetual motion. And so being busy and not lazy is also a very big part of your destiny themes. You can have a destiny where you have an obsession to learn more, to know more. You probably have the most influential people in your life. These destined mates of your soul pod are probably very, very smart. You probably gravitate magnetically towards soulmates that are smart, good communicators, big thinkers, brilliant minds, and developing your mind in a way that advances you, doesn't just keep you stuck on the hamster wheel. So I would just say a powerful mind is a very big part of your destiny. Knowledge, and knowledge is power, right? Developing the ability to speak, to communicate, to teach, to write, to share your knowledge in any way, shape, or form. Shutting out the mundane, shutting out the small talk, going beyond just chit chat for chit chat's reasons, right? But developing the ability for deeply meaningful communication. And if we didn't have the same language right now, right? And I'm glad that you meet me in the only language I know, we wouldn't be able to communicate as deeply. So developing depth of character, depth of life through the power of communication is a huge part of your destiny. And finding people that bring that to you is what your vertex point is all about. That's the magic in your life. Okay, let's talk about the vertex in Cancer. The theme here, the destiny here, is the ability to plant roots and create heart bonds with people that feel like family. So if you're a woman and you're not able to have a baby and you have your vertex in Cancer, you didn't miss your calling. You're just going to create heart center bonding with people who will feel like family to you. And you will find soulmates that will build relationships of sustenance, the enmeshment of love, the entwinement of love, the sacrifices of love. This is very deep if you have your vertex in Cancer, because you're here on an emotional lifetime. Even though you may be stoic, the emotions still brew on the inside. How to get emotionally involved, emotionally sunk in, dive deep into the emotions. And you're also here to recognize your emotional desires and to live from them. You're going to see that you're probably very attracted to people who can nurture you, who can love you, who can receive your love. You have to be a little bit careful with this placement to not become the mother to your husband, right? or the husband or the father to your wife, or, just staying in a perpetual parental role, learn how to really step into the intimacy inside love relationships. You also might have a tendency to suppress your emotions because emotions are big with the Vertex in Cancer. But I'm saying let them out and start to understand your emotional makeup. And you might also see that your soulmates are very emotional people, or they are somebody who brings you experiences that trigger big emotions. I'll also say that the Vertex in Cancer is here to understand the inner world more deeply than the external world. They really are here to do a deep dive into the spiritual connection of life and ask the deep inner questions about life. And you will probably attract people who can go to the depths with you. Now, the Vertex in Leo is really interesting because I'll say that your destiny is to become your own inspiration, your own love source, your own creative muse, unlocking the creativity that lives inside of you, creative thinking, creative being, creative living. Your destiny is here to love with generosity. I will also say that there is a deep relationship to appreciation, to doing things, to building a life that is much appreciated by others, and to appreciate others. And I know that might sound small, but it's actually quite huge. When you build a life that other people are in awe of or inspired by or are appreciative of, you've done it right because they're valuing you. And when you can openly appreciate other people, their gifts, their talents, and their skills, you've arrived. That's the Vertex in Leo. And it's no small thing. It's a great feel-good Vertex. You also will meet people who will put you in a position of inspiration, will cultivate an arena for you to be awe-inspiring. I don't know, maybe you will meet somebody who will become your manager, your handler, and give you a gig, right? Or that might seem far-fetched. It could just be a mom, right? You have your Vertex in Leo. You could just have your mom who is in her synastry in alignment with your Vertex in some way, and she helps you cultivate opportunities for your creative expression or for your uniqueness. You will see, though, that while you develop your own gifts and as you grow older, there will be a part of you that will truly, in the second half of your life with a Vertex in Leo, you will want to inspire other people to also develop their gifts. And that's when you have really arrived. And so there's this magic in developing your own creative self, your own creative talents, becoming an inspiring soul to then inspire others and to encourage them to be different, to be unique, to stand in their own creative power. Creativity is powerful. And it's through your creativity, it's through your uniqueness that you will feel like you are an extraordinarily special person. And you will have a desire to meet, and you will meet just through serendipity, powerfully creative, unique individuals that are unafraid to express who they are in their uniqueness. You will probably attract generous lovers. And you don't forget, again, the anti-vertex. So if you're meeting an Aquarian whose sun or moon sits on the anti-vertex in your chart, it's triggering your Vertex as well. So the Vertex in Virgo is somebody who is attracted to situations or will attract themselves to situations where they are extraordinarily useful. This could even be like a firefighter who, saved children from a burning building. And so it might not sound sexy, but it can be extraordinarily life-changing. It could also be somebody who is attracted to people in the health, medical, or wellness or fitness professions in life. I find that there is a real destiny here for Vertex and Virgos to understand their self-worth. It's a little bit like Taurus, but I think it's even deeper, to become truly useful in the world, find their merits, their skill sets in a pragmatic way that people can benefit on a daily basis. Like, for example, who invented the coffee cup? Who invented the cup? that person. That's Virgo. We might think that that's Leo or Aquarius, but it is so useful. Whoever developed the cup, and then who developed the coffee cup from it, and then who developed the wine chalice and the wine glass, and on, right? You're also here to really understand the microscopic details that make up life. So all the particles that make up the whole. Your destiny is kind of like the self-improvement destiny, where you're here to make things better, you're here to fix things, you're here to improve the quality of things. So taking the cup and turning it into a coffee cup, right? At a very pragmatic, practical, daily level, the nuts and bolts, you're here to advance life forward. And you will find that you meet people in this lifetime just through serendipity, just through magic, just the heavens open it up and drop you down into the world where you'll meet people that will help you make things better. You will find people will help you make yourself better, and also will maybe even give you a platform to help the world advance itself, to create little and big improvements in the world or in your world. So this one is very interesting. Another thing that you would be very good at is working with situations that have a lot of drama, chaos, problems, right? And finding solutions. And you will see that a lot of your soulmates either count on that from you, rely on that from you, or help you create solutions. So maybe you find friends in need because you're exercising your own talent to fix things. You could also attract partners that you really respect their intelligence, their ability to make themselves, make your life, their life, the world better in some way, shape, or form. You also might really find that the soulmates out there that you really gravitate towards, or what you're super attracted to, are those who have the ability to heal other people. You probably will attract partners that want to make things really all right, like okay and better. And you yourself will also have this skill set. Now, I want to tell you something right here, and that is, if you don't know where your vertex is, you can go online and probably just order a free chart to get your vertex in it, or you could get my gorgeous natal chart. In it, you will see the vertex. It's super beautiful, easy to read. It's like $10. You can order that in my shop. You also should look at your progressed chart with your vertex. So with this video, look at both where is your progressed vertex right now, and it does move. You can get your progressed chart in my shop as well. You can get it through the Astro Gold Package. That's sort of the advanced package. After you get the starter package, get the Advanced Astro Gold Package, and you'll get your progressed chart in that. You could also just get your progressed package, and you could also just order your progressed chart. And then I highly recommend you also take a look at where your vertex is for this year. And you would get that through the solar return package. The reports are not going to talk about the vertex. As a matter of fact, very few astrologers even study the vertex. You're going to have a hard time finding deep information on the vertex anywhere. I mean, I don't even have a book on it. The reports aren't going to go into the vertex, but the charts will all have the vertex on it. And I highly recommend you get your solar return. You should do that every year anyways, but get your solar return package and you'll get the chart, and then you'll get the report. And the report is fascinating. It will tell you what your whole entire year is about, the theme for your whole year. You will want to know, and it goes from your last birthday to your next birthday. But what you'll get with the solar return package is you'll get to see where your vertex lives by sign and by house. It's different. It's going to be different than your natal vertex, and what it means for you for this year. So you want to look at your natal vertex, you want to look at your progressed vertex, and you want to look at your solar return vertex and your synastry vertex, your synastry with another person. What do they do to your vertex? So those are the 4 different ways that you can study your vertex. I will put the link to my shop below, and you can just click on that and get whatever reports your heart desires. Let's talk about Libra. Your destiny is going to be about collaboration with people. You are going to find that you are going to just, in a serendipity serendipitous way, be a great negotiator between two opposing sides, between maybe a truth and a false, or between two sides that are both right, the peacemaker, the negotiator in this lifetime. But you will be highly attracted and you will find people that are brilliant communicators, strategists, negotiators. And I think that you will have a great respect for people who are the epitome of grace, especially in this wonky, crazy world. Your destiny is about union, uniting. It's about creating cohesion. You might find that there is a theme of justice and peace and diplomacy and negotiation in this lifetime. So your soulmates might be great negotiators. They might be great legalists. They might be great strategizers. You might be really attracted to people who are fair, who are balanced, can see both sides, who are not the type of person that says, you're wrong, I'm right, but somebody who can see sort of the truth is in the middle somewhere. I think you're going to probably find that you're very attracted to, magically, people that don't come with like unfounded judgments, right? Judgments against you. You will be highly attracted to being a balanced person, but to attracting balanced people and people who are not emotionally enmeshed, somebody who can connect strategically, connect thoughtfully, but are also capable of rational detachment. This is a really interesting placement. So the vertex in Scorpio, I would say that the destiny themes here are intensity, building and creating a life that feels deep, intense, intimate, committed, loyal. You will want relationships only that have enormous payout. And when I say enormous payout, where your other person can meet you where you're at. Otherwise, you could find that being alone is just easier and better for you. It's kind of an all or nothing thing. You want to go to the depths of the bottom of the soul or not at all. It's going to be very hard to be just a casual dater with your vertex in Scorpio. There is a desire to transform in this lifetime, and you will attract the great transformers in this lifetime. Healers, psychics, those who are mystical and mysterious. You will find the magnetism, the magnetic power in another person's ability to get you, to know you, to go with you to the depths of the soul is just absolutely irresistible. I think with this placement, there is a desire for total self-control and mastery in all situations. You will also see that you're very attracted to money. Other people have to kind of bring some money to the table and be willing to make an investment in you spiritually and maybe even monetarily. I say that because you also will gravitate towards very powerful people. Now, don't forget the antivertex, right? If the other person, the transits sit on your antivertex in Taurus, it's triggering this in you. You are going to want to explore the limits of depth in this lifetime, and you will attract people, for good or for bad, who will help you create that. It could be kind of scary because you're going to be swimming in territory that you've never seen before. I mean, we're talking the depths, the molten hot lava of the core of the earth. Okay, Sagittarius, there is such a destiny around adventure, around gleaning a bigger perspective constantly, always learning about more. You're going to also see that you really do gravitate towards the philosophers in the world, the gurus, the teachers, those who know more than you. If you're the smartest person in the room, these people are probably not sitting on your vertex, truthfully. There is a desire to experience the abundance that the world has to offer. There's a desire to sort of break the limitations of what you are physically capable of. It's a little bit like Aries, like going into the adventure land, the unexplored territory, the places that you've only imagined, if you will, to understand the truth of the world, the galaxy, humanity, people. This is really in search of the Holy Grail. And so you're going to have soulmates that feel like the great adventurers. And you might even be enraptured by the great teachers in the world. You are probably a very inspiring person. You will probably be a great force in other people's lives, teaching them to maximize their potential, teaching them to go into the biggest picture of their life, right? Don't stay stuck in the small, but go into the largeness and the vastness of who you were born to be. And you might stand in the role of teacher. So you might meet teachers that want you to also teach, that give you an opportunity for more adventure or more vastness in your life, people who expand your world. You will gravitate towards people who teach you new things, especially about cultures. And traveling, you might find that in a serendipitous way, you fall in love with foreigners, you fall in love with foreign travel, you fall in love with things that are foreign to you, new foods, new people, and you might find magic in that. I don't know, you might meet your soulmate while you're, traveling on safari in Africa when you live in New York City. If you have your Vertex in Sagittarius, you want to live a very big life, and you will meet people that will help you do just that. Capricorn. If you have your Vertex in Capricorn, this is also about mastering your life and building a legacy that really is deeply impactful and meaningful to your community or to life. Something that has lasting value and lives on, memorializes you, or your efforts are memorialized even after you cross over. There's a deep part of you that really wants to live in your full potential, your full capacity of what you're capable of, to matter, to do meaningful work in the world, and to have your work endure life past your own lifetime. And I also want to tell you that you are going to be very attracted to the builders in life, to those who are masterful, those who are potent and powerful and influential leaders, people who are on top of their game, those who have reached their own fulfilling potential, those who have mastered the art of their own life, and somebody who has built an enterprise, has built an empire. Your destiny theme is around building your own self, your own empire, your own world to maximum potential, to have it make meaning even while you have left, if you will, maybe passing it down to your children or those after you or your community. And also you're going to see that you gravitate, or people find you who are of that ilk themselves, very successful, very powerful in their own right. Now, they could just be pumping gas, but they would be like the greatest gas pumper ever. So I don't always mean status, money, material, clout. I don't always mean that, but I do mean really good at what they do. I mean, they could be the cat whisperer, right? And by the way, if you guys want a reading, hop onto my calendar at soulnavigation.com and just click the book a reading button. And you can also check out my whole entire team and get a reading with one of us at Soul Navigation. I always say doing one reading is like 17 years worth of therapy. It is so deep, and it is just so riveting, and it is so good. And if you have had a reading from one of us over here on Team Soul Navigation, leave it in the comments and let me know what you thought about your reading and what did you get out of it. Also, tell me where your Vertex is in the comments, by house and by sign. Okay, let's talk about Aquarius. Aquarius's destiny theme, if you will, is ideology, to put that ideology out there in the world and then walk your talk around it. Becoming uniquely you, not caring what the masses are, individuating, getting rid of consensus thinking, if you will, maybe sharing a vision with like-minded souls, building your life and your destiny out of the shared vision with like-minded people that is unique to your world or different than how you grew up. So basically being different and having the courage to be different. You're going to see that your world, your soulmates, come from all walks of life. They're all unique. They're all different, and tolerance for the uniqueness of people is a big part of your theme. It's a very big part. How to accept all people, all living creatures from all walks of life. There's a deep relationship with humanity and advancing humanity. When you have your Vertex in Aquarius, it is a big deal. Saving the planet, saving the world, saving humanity, right? Advocating for the highest ideals, and building friends with strangers, building friends with people you have nothing in common with. And I would also say that this can be extraordinarily confident, because finding people that will support your destiny around being unafraid to be yourself, being unafraid to live out your ideals or your ideology. And you will find that your soulmates are going to be really unique and very different, and you will gravitate magnetically towards people who are really unique and different. Friendships are critical to your life. Your life does not work without friendships in some way, shape, or form. So Pisces, your destiny has a lot to do with being an angelic force in the world, if you will, surrendering your ego desires, the hedonistic desires that might bubble up, or the earthbound desires, right? To have more, a spiritual relationship to the universe, to source, to God, to others. Mysticism, mystical aspects of life, to create an enormous well or enormous capacity for compassion towards others, all living beings. Empathy, compassion, unconditional love, those are your destiny themes. And you will be put in situations where you will develop those very things. You will, for no reason that you can even think of, love a stranger, right? Fall in love with somebody who is in great need. Psychologically, emotionally, how to love others without condition is a huge part of your destiny. It's kind of why I called it being an angelical force in this world, being an angelic being, a guardian angel, but on earth. And it is a BFD. It is a big deal to have your Vertex in Pisces because you are so sensitive, and you will be attracted to sensitive creatures. You will be attracted to those who can understand and even overcome suffering. You will be attracted to those who are humble, who are genuine, who are real, who understand sorrow and melancholy and the bittersweetness of growing through crisis or agony or challenge. The Vertex in Pisces is very mystical. It is very magical, and it's almost like being a vessel of this angelic love to heal the world, heal others. There's a mystical, magical healing quality with Vertex and Pisces. You're not looking to be a power couple with your soulmates. You are going to be magnetically drawn to the magic, the magic in the soulmate connection, in the energy between you and your soulmate, ignited by the soulfulness of your partner. Being able to surrender ego is a huge destiny theme in your life. So how have you been asked to surrender your ego in this lifetime? I want to know. I want you guys to leave me a note in the comments. Leave me a comment and let me know, where is your Vertex? Watch my first video on the Vertex and blend the house with the sign. I am absolutely loving doing these Vertex videos. I will also teach you how to use the moon to understand which are the most magical days of serendipity in your year to come. It is fascinating. It is riveting, and I hope so much. Tell me if you're liking this Vertex information from my home in Seattle to wherever you're at in the world. Oh, I almost forgot to say, come learn astrology with me. Come to my retreat in May. Just click the link in the notes below, and you can come study with me in person for 3 days at the gorgeous Pike Place Market here in Seattle, Washington, and I would love it. I still have some spots available, so sign up for my retreat in May 2023. Bye. I gotta go. Bye.